Rockstar gang, what up? What up? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rockstar Report. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, smash that like button, okay? As you're coming in, make sure you smash that like button. I got a great show for you, as always. Got a lot to talk. I got pretty good amount of stuff to talk about. Got a lot of content coming out to you guys. It's just nonstop, man. Nonstop. So I appreciate everyone in here. Earl Locklear, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. Josh, keep pounding. Today says, I rock with these lives during the night more because I'm not at work. Well, it's going to be more often. It's going to be more often, Jadaria. So it's definitely going to be more often. Long time no see. Nick's forever. What's up, man? Appreciate you joining. I tell you, I mean, the night shift, man. The night shift. That's what I wish I could call. I don't know if that's I think that's I'm pretty sure someone might already have that as a title for one of their podcasts, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get, sued for someone's trademark. I don't know. We'll have to come up with a show. I'm more up to, so I'm paying attention more. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be a late night for me, man. I got a lot of content I got to make for you guys before I head out on the road Wednesday. So I'm trying to get all my lives in. Obviously, we got the NFC South Roundtable tomorrow night. Got a lot to talk about. I'm more up to, so I'm paying more attention. There you go, man. Tampa fans are ugly and their mamas dress them funny. That's funny for a city kitty. What's up, Jeff? Appreciate you joining me. Night Watch is pretty good. I like that, Jadarius. We might have to come up with something. We'll work on it. All right. Let me get my PowerPoint presentation up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Dang it. No. You stupid fucking piece of shit. Thank you. Okay. Sorry for the language. That was uncalled for by me. We're also going to break down some game film tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to break down some game film tonight. Just a little bit, a couple clips that I found that I want to go over with you guys. Not a full game film, but a full breakdown of some clips. So appreciate everyone in here again. Let's get right into it, man. Let's bring this up. All right, present, and let's go. All right, man, news and updates. Let's get right into it. We got some news and updates coming out. The Carolina Panthers have shaked things up already for a team in desperate need, man, of a shakeup. The evening Rappaport. That's funny. I like that, Josh. It's actually kind of clever, honestly. I like it, though. I like it. I also like this view, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I like the view like this, the way it's like up and down like this, by the way. Anyways, I'm rocking with it like this. I don't like the side view like that. I don't like that one anymore. I don't like this one anymore. I don't know. This one's not too bad. This one's not too bad. This one's just too damn big. This just looks, I don't know. Does that look weird to you? How about you guys? Y'all decide in the chat. All right, so this is option 1 right here. So put a 1 in the chat for this. That's not option 2. All right, this is option 2. This is option 3. This is option 4. So I gave you 4 options. So here we go. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, 4, 5. Actually, this is 5. So we'll go option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5. I'm trying to think, man. I don't know which one I want to go with. I'm trying to think which one I like better. Trying to think which one I like better. Y'all still like this one? This is option 4. This is option 3. All right, ready? Here we go. Again, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5. I'm thinking 4. Josh has 4 or 2. Josh has 3. The background video stand goes hard. Yeah, I think it does too. So we said option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, or option 5. I still think I like this one the best. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. All right. Appreciate y'all on that one. All right, let's get back into it. So they shake things up for a team. Obviously, we're in desperate need of something to work with in that corner room. That's why they went out and got this guy, Caleb Evans, I think. They've been taking another swing. They claimed this guy off of waivers from the Minnesota Vikings. Hope he can inject some life in this struggling secondary, especially in the nickel, right? Of course, moves like this had to come at a cost. Charles Harris, one of the team's co-leader in sacks, who got the boot to make room. So Caleb Evans isn't exactly a household name, but the Panthers clearly see something in a 25-year-old cornerback. And of course, he fits the size narrative, the 6'1", 6'2", 210, 220 size, right? 4th round pick by the Minnesota Vikings back in 2022. Evans has been a solid corner. If unspectacular NFL journey so far, 2022 rookie campaign, played in 10 games, 2 starts before his concussion ended his season. So it was a pretty bad concussion for it to end his season after 10 games, right? He only started 2 of those 10 games, by the way. Started all 15 games he played in 2023, logging 65 tackles, 1 pick, 7 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles. 2024 so far, let's be honest, he hasn't really been lighting the world on fire. Of his 86 snaps this season, 83 of them were on special teams. So Evans split his college career between Tulsa and Missouri. While he's got that size, that 6'2" frame. He's not 210. He's actually like 200, 6'2", 200. The athleticism teams combat. He's yet to prove that he can be a consistent contributor at the pro level. Still, the Panthers, I think, are in no position to turn down potential upgrades, especially in the secondary. That's been plagued by injuries, by underperformance. So, why was Charles Harris cut? Well, let's not sugarcoat it. Cutting Charles Harris is a head scratcher on paper. The 29-year-old linebacker who joined the Panthers in September is tied for the team lead in sacks with 3. That might not sound impressive until you remember this team struggles to pressure anyone until we saw on Sunday. But I think Harris had become expendable with the return of DJ Wonnum, right? Who's reclaimed his starting spot and has played well enough to, over the last 2 weeks, to push Harris down the depth chart. Still, it's a bold and risky move, I think, for a team that isn't exactly swimming in defensive talent. So what does this mean for the Panthers? Well, they shake up their secondary. The claiming this kid, to me, shows that the Panthers are still searching for answers in their pass defense. And it's mainly in the nickel because we've been dealing with injuries here and there. A lot of inconsistencies playing this cornerback room. Evans might get his chance to prove that maybe he's more than a special teams guy. Who knows? If he could come back and have what he proved in his 2023 season when he started all 15 games, locked 65 tackles, 1 pick, 7 passes defended, and 3 forced fumble, you might have something in your hands there, right? The pass rush problems, though, still is that the decision for them to waive Harris highlights a bigger issue, right? Because Carolina's inability to consistently generate pressure Sure, Wanum has been solid, but cutting your co-leader in sacks for a corner who barely played this season, that's a gamble to say the least, ladies and gentlemen. So long-term thinking here, I think a lot of this has to do with long-term thinking. That's what they're going with. This move feels less more about the present and more about the evaluating the pieces for the future. But Evans has youth, right? He has the potential on his side, while Harris, who has been a journeyman, whose ceiling is well known. But if the Panthers don't find a way to win in the trenches, ladies and gentlemen, that's where it could go down as a case of shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic. That's the way I look at it. Because again, you're still in a full throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks mode. It feels like with this. You claim this Evans kid is a low risk, high reward situation. If he develops into a reliable corner, great. If not, no harm done. Like cutting Charles Harris, however, raises eyebrows for a defense that's already struggling to make plays. Letting go of one of your only semi-productive pass rushers feels risky at best, like dumb as hell at worst. Like only time will tell if this gamble pays off. Like for now, though, I think it's clear, ladies and gentlemen, the Panthers are still very much in rebuild mode. Like you're trying to find any spark that they could salvage, the rest of the season. Again, the Sunday's game, ladies and gentlemen, is progress that we have to acknowledge. And I acknowledged it yesterday, but still, you got to figure out who's worth keeping for the next year, right? Or the future, right? And I think that's what this move is kind of implementing. Justin Bryant, what's up, man? I appreciate you joining. Yo, Toxic Black, what's good? Appreciate you guys like joining in on figuring out which screen we should rock with, but we're just gonna rock with this one. I like this one. Plus, if people are using their phones, it's probably easier to see me like this. I know that I could before the live streams. Now you can do the vertical view, but I like this view better. Guys, do me a favor, man. There's over 27 of you watching. We got 15 likes. We got 15 people watching on YouTube. We got 14 votes on the totem pole there. We've got only 11 thumbs up buttons. So do me a favor. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way in or on your way out. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's, enjoy the show, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the show as we continue here. Austin Wright, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. All right, let's move on. So the Carolina Panthers future actually might not suck. Like the Carolina Panthers, let's be honest, okay? We're not a good football team. We're not. Are we progressing? Yes. All right. I got to give credit where credit's due. They aren't a dumpster fire either. All right. I think that we're not the worst team in the NFL anymore, which is saying something for a team with just 3 wins. Sunday, they didn't just roll over, right? For a team with just 3 wins that were going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, who the Chiefs were favored by 11 points. And instead, they dragged the defending champions into a street fight, and it came down to the final play. And the Chiefs eked out a 30-27 win thanks to Evero soft-ass coverage and Dane Jackson missing tackles and Evero not putting a QB spy on Patrick Mahomes in the clutch moments. So then you can thank that on the fact that we lost with the last second field goal. So fire Giro Evero. Sorry. I had something in my throat. But anyways, the Carolina made them sweat bullets. So no, this wasn't some monumental success, ladies and gentlemen, for the Panthers. Okay. But it was progress, man. Something we've been desperately waiting to see this team do, especially with Bryce Young, right? He has been polarized at best, a punchline at worst in his short NFL time. But against the Chiefs, he looked like the dude Carolina thought that they were drafting, right? Bryce Young, again, finally looked like an NFL QB. Young wasn't just good against Kansas City Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. He showed flashes of being special. He picked apart one of the league's best pass defenses with the kind of anticipation, touch, creativity we haven't seen much of this season. He wasn't just on checkdowns and hoping for yards after the catch either. The kid was slinging deep balls with confidence, dodging pass rushers like a ballerina in cleats, and somehow, ladies and gentlemen, he turned plays that should have been sacks into positive yardage. Like, he did it with a receiver corps that most people would struggle to name outside of Adam Thielen. Like, case in point, David Moore, a guy who's probably Googling other careers for undrafted receivers on his off days. The guy put up 81 yards and a touchdown. Like, if Young can make a guy like that look like a legit target, imagine what he could do with a top-tier receiver. For context, let's put Bryce Young's numbers against the Chiefs in perspective for you, okay? So let me put this in perspective. Joe Burrow, 23 completions, 36 attempts, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 103.7 rating. Justin Herbert, 19 completions, 29 attempts, 179 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and 91.4 rating. Brock Purdy, 17 completions, 31 attempts, 212 yards, and 3 interceptions. Damn. 36.7 rating. Josh Allen against the Chiefs, 27 completions, 40 attempts, 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 83.5 rating. Bryce Young, 21 completions, 35 attempts, 263 yards, 1 touchdown, and 92.9. 92.9 rating. That's right. Hit that thumbs up button, Austin, right? Like, so what does that tell you guys? Bryce freaking Young just hung in with the NFL big boys. Sure, it's just one game, but for a fan base starving for hope, that is something, right? This offense I think this is an offense that's built for the NFL's shifting landscape right now. The Panthers aren't all about Bryce Young, though. Let's talk about the offensive line, the run game. 2 areas this team actually got right. In a league where running the ball has become the trend again in the league, if you think about it. Carolina has quietly built a rushing attack that could be dangerous in the near future. Obviously, I need to see more out of Jonathan Brooks, but it starts with the big boys up front. You got to give credit where credit's due. First off, you got to give credit to Dan Morgan for going out and getting guys like Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt. Bringing back Cade Mays has been a godsend. Brady Christensen deserves a contract extension. Ike Ekwonu has improved. And, of course, Taylor Moton, he's done his thing. He's been the rock. So, bolstering up this offensive line this offseason was well worth that investment. And this investment makes Dan Morgan look like a genius, in my opinion. This line is giving Young more time to work, the opening lanes for the backfield. That's quietly becoming one of the better committees in the NFL. Chuba Hubbard has leveled up this season, looking like a legitimate running back one. Meanwhile, you got rookie Jonathan Brooks out of Texas, who's trying to prove that he was a steal. And we'll see. Adding fresh legs and versatility to the mix, it's going to be well worth it once Jonathan Brooks gets going. So together, I think those guys are going to be setting the stage for an offense that could make a massive leap in 2025. But we got to talk about that defense. A defense right now, this defense is still a hot mess, but there's hope, right? I think there's hope. Okay. There's definitely hope with this defense. Check it. Rewatching the last New York, the Chiefs pissed me off. You think after one massive run by Mahomes, you would adjust, put a spy, right? I know. Bryce has definitely shown growth. He deserves the credit he's getting now. I know the L was coming. You don't give Mahomes time to do anything. We lost only 2 games Bryce had. Bryce had. The Sunday was a good game, but we lost. The game against the Green Bay last year was a good game, but we lost. Close isn't good enough anymore. Facts. Bryce has been getting better for the last 3 weeks, to be honest. But I think his best was against the Chiefs for sure. Just stop by, give you a thumbs up. Appreciate that, Matt Chatter. Appreciate you joining, man. But again, this defense, the harsh truth is our defense blows right now. Losing Derrick Brown to an injury was a death penalty for our D-line, man. Like, you trade Brian Burns that has left the pass rush as toothless as a retired boxer without pressure on opposing quarterbacks, but they stepped up in this game. But again, it seems like they stepped up against the Giants, they stepped up against the Chiefs. Can this maintain what the progress we've seen from this defense and this pass rush? Can that consistency maintain? Now, the secondary has been left out hanging to dry, and it shows. But there's light at the end of the grim tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. Trading Burns, I think, yes, was a ballsy move, but it might have been the right one. He's been mid-tier at best for the New York Giants after cashing in on that massive contract. Now the Panthers have positioned themselves to snag a top pass rusher in the draft, which we're going to tonight. If they can land someone like Abdul Carter or James Pierce Jr., this defense could transform almost overnight, I think, especially with one of those 2 guys. Plus, you got to think about it this way, and I'm just brainstorming here with you guys. The Panthers are going to have a ton of cap space this offseason. I don't think it's top 10, but I'm pretty sure it's like top 15 at least. So it's still enough. Because like guys like Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, right, are pretty much guaranteed cuts. You're freeing up room to make some big moves in free agency. Now, the NFC South the NFC is that South though now though. You have to think about it this way. Is there for the taking, ladies and gentlemen. It is there for the taking. And I'm not necessarily saying the Carolina Panthers are going to take it. Right? I'm not necessarily saying the Carolina Panthers there are going to take it, but who knows? The Panthers don't have to be amazing to be competitive. Like, the NFC South is the glorified clown car of mediocrity. The Falcons thought Kirk Cousins was the answer. So for all you Falcons fans, spoiler alert, he's not. The Saints are spiraling with coaching drama, salary cap issues. And the Bucs, they're fine, but fine doesn't win divisions. Like, if Bryce Young continues to develop, the front office doesn't screw up this offseason, Carolina could be sitting at the top of the division sooner than anyone expects. Now, look, nobody's pretending the Panthers are good right now. I'm not. But for the first time, in what feels like forever, they're showing signs of life. I feel like we're getting this culture back. I feel like we're finding our identity. That's what it is. Like, Bryce Young looks like a franchise quarterback in the making right now, or he did after this game. I got to see more, though. I got to see him be consistent, right? And I got to see him continue to progress, right? I'm not ready to call him the franchise guy. I'm not ready yet. But I'm willing to give the guy a chance still. We're only in his second year. I'm willing to give him another year. I'm willing to give him, and I said this, actually, I think I said this in the beginning of the season. I'm willing to give him next year halfway through the season. Basically like week 10, week 11. So, again, the front office doesn't screw this up off season. We're going to be sitting, we could be sitting at the top. Again, the offensive line, the run game's clicking. The defense is just a couple pieces away from being respectable. So, yeah, it's rough right now. But I think if we give it till, like I said, week 12 of next year, let's see where this team might be. Just go from they might be just going from being a punchline to a problem in the NFC South. And if they don't, well, at least they've got the cap space to buy themselves another shot, right? And we'll see. Today, man, today I feel like just something's different. I feel like something is just different this year. Jadarius is praying over there. Here to party. There you go, Dom34. Smash that like, subscribe. Appreciate that. Right? I'm glad I'm not in those divisions either, Jadarius. We were in the red zone how many times? We only scored 27 points. That was the bad part of Bryce's showing on Sunday. I mean, playing for Jesus, I also think that's also a coaching issue. Again, the play calling has been mediocre at best. It's been don't take risk, right? It's been conservative at best. It's been vanilla at best. It's been predictable at best. And especially in the red zone, you have to be more efficient for sure. I agree with that. But that's not on all Bryce. I think you also have to look at Dave Canales too with the play calling. We can have it. We just need to finish games. Overall, we look like a more competitive team. True. Damn sure or not, Clay is good. I'm damn sure not. Clay is good cop, and I'm the bad cop in how we view this team. I mean, I'm just being a little bit optimistic today. I feel like I really have been not too optimistic throughout this season. I've been very realistic, very kind of not as open-minded as I was last year. Like last year I was way too open-minded. But this year I've definitely been more realistic. But again, progress is progress, ladies and gentlemen. The Snell has picked up the pace, Donnie Lynn. Keep building this team up for sure. But again, it kind of leads to my next slide, man. It's just finally something different. Like, we've been through a lot of football hell over the past few seasons. Again, it's been this endless loop of uninspired, mind-numbing, boring, mediocre. But yesterday, something about yesterday watching that Chiefs game felt different. Like, I know the morale victories are for losers, okay? But if you'd be lying if you said you weren't at least a little hyped after watching Bryce and Dave Canales show us a glimpse of showing us a glimpse of what they're trying to build here. So, sure, the Panthers lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. But this loss and some damn teeth. But this loss had some damn teeth to it. But it wasn't the usual we forgot to show up routine though. Like, no, this was a fight, a scrap. For once, the Carolina didn't look like a bunch of amateurs accidentally stumbling onto an NFL field. Like, most importantly, Bryce finally looked like a guy we paid an arm and a leg and a firstborn child to draft. You know what I mean? So, Bryce Young, again, this has been an underwhelming season, and it's been a season from hell, I feel like, for Bryce. But recently he's been tentative. You know, the start of the season, he's been tentative. He was off target, about as threatening as a warm cup of milk. And basically, a lot of fans justified him as a bust. And I know some of you guys do in the chat. All right. And I get it. Right. And I get it. But yesterday was nowhere but yesterday that Bryce Young was nowhere to be seen at the beginning of the season. Instead, we got a quarterback who was poised, decisive, and dare I say a little badass. Like he stood in the pocket, he owned the place, throwing with accuracy, touch, and my goodness, played with some confidence. It wasn't like he was padding stats against some JV defense. No, he was up against Steve Spagnuolo's Chiefs, one of the NFL's nastiest defensive units. So, I mean, designed to and that defense for the Chiefs is a defense that is designed to feast on a quarterback who can't hack it. Like Bryce didn't just survive; he bailed out, but he balled out. Now, let's punt the brakes before we start chiseling his bust for Canton, right? All right, let's calm down. It's one game, okay? It's also the third straight game where Bryce Young looked better than he did a week before. That's progress. If this upward trend continues to happen, it's fair to say he's starting to live up to the hype. Hell, even yesterday's performance for me becomes his baseline. That's a quarterback who could win games in this league for a team that mortgaged their future for him. And that's that's a big deal. But again, a team that feels different. Let's be honest here. This isn't the Panthers team we've gotten used to hating over the past 7 years. You got to think about it like that. That team 7 years ago, or in the past couple years, you got to think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen. That team would have rolled over against this team and against the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's it. They would have rolled over, died against the juggernaut of the Kansas City Chiefs. This team, they fought, they punched, they moved their weight class. They actually looked like they had a plan. Not some half-ass figure out on the fly nonsense. Dave Canales, I have to give him some credit, even though I don't agree with a lot of the play calling. Again, this offense is not perfect still. But for the first time in forever, it didn't feel like they were just playing to not lose. They did take some shots, but the creativeness is still not there for me. They played with urgency. They tried. And really, that's all fans have been begging for since Cam Newton's shoulders and ankles gave out on him. So here's the thing. Hope is dangerous. Like, this franchise has burned us too many times to count. So excuse me if I'm hesitant to start planning a Super Bowl parade down Tyrant Street, but we've been here before. A late season flash, a handful of promising performance, and then a whole offseason of front office paralysis. Right? By the next season rolls around, they're usually managed to screw it up all up, but somehow. By this time, it just feels different right now. Bryce Young has 6 more games to prove that yesterday wasn't a fluke. And if he keeps trending upward, it changes everything. The Panthers can actually build around him instead of spinning their wheels in quarterback purgatory. And that's the kind of shit that turns a bottom dweller into a playoff contender. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a mountain of work to do. All right. The roster still has some holes. Okay. The coaching staff has to show that they can sustain this kind of progress. But for once, it feels like they've got a shot, and a real one, a real honest to God shot. All right. As a long suffering fan, that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. So, oh, trust me, I think this Chiefs team's overrated. And I'm going to have a video coming out about that. I definitely think I do have to agree with you. I do think that this Chiefs game was more about us than them, for sure. But they might not be the typical Chiefs team. I get what y'all are saying, but again, for you to go toe to toe with a back to back Super Bowl championship team, and the team right now has the best record in the league, I mean, you really can't. You got to give credit where credit's due at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. If it's that hard for you to give some flowers, I just don't get it. I'm just giving credit where credit's due. Let's do it. Let me give you an update. I don't know if y'all heard. Jadavion Sanders had a close call on Sunday. When I say close call, I mean the kind of play that makes you wonder if this guy will ever walk the same way again. It was one of the most gut-wrenching, oh crap, is he okay moments for me. Luckily, Sanders seems to come out of it in one piece, at least close to one piece, as anyone can after landing on their damn head. Obviously, this is what went down. If y'all don't remember, the second quarter of the Panthers game against the Chiefs, Sanders made a clean 10-yard catch, took it out of bounds, but instead of stepping out, Sanders found himself. Really, he was smashed between two of the Chiefs defenders. It was Trent McDuffie and then linebacker Drew Tranquil came over. The hit was brutal, and the poor guy went down on like a lawn chair, landing squarely on top of his head. The stadium went dead silent. Fans watched as medical staff started carting Sanders off the field. Everyone's holding their breath, praying that this wasn't the beginning of a tragic football story, especially on ESPN. But good news is he's mostly okay. Post-game updates were surprising positive, which was a damn relief. Head coach Dave Canales told reporters that Sanders was obviously taken to the local hospital, evaluated. Get this. He made it back to the stadium the same night. That's either modern medicine working miracles or proof that Sanders built like a tank. But by Monday, Canales gave another update, but it was full of the coach's speech, basically saying that Sanders didn't break his damn neck, that they're not about to throw him back in the fire just yet. But thank God for that. I mean, the last thing anyone needs is to rush the guy back on the field only for him to get folded like a deck chair again. But before his terrifying exit, I mean, the guy was having a solid game, ladies and gentlemen. 3 catches, 43 yards, showing flashes of why the Panthers took a chance on him in the first place. But man, it's good news to see that, again, Jadavion Sanders is walking away from that. Could have been a catastrophic injury, maybe even career. I even heard a lot of people say that it could have been a career-ending one the way he landed. So that's a win for itself, and the guy's going to be okay. I think he'll probably be out this Sunday against the Bucs. So we'll see. I'm glad it's not a total disaster. So I'm glad that God was definitely watching out for this kid, man. So shout out to him, and hope he gets better. Oh, I mean, Patrick Mahomes said that Bryce played his tail off. Yeah, but playing for Jesus, you're talking about a team, though, that is ranked 6th in defense and 6th on offense. Again, you still have to get Panther. You're also talking about a team that's only won 3 games, going up against a team that went 9-1 before we faced them. Like, they were still the team to beat. We still went toe-to-toe with the 2-time Super Bowl champs. with a roster that's better than ours and a franchise quarterback and probably one of the best quarterbacks to go down, might go down and one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. And of course, an NFL Hall of Fame head coach, and you went toe to toe with him. That's still something to say. It's still giving them flowers. I don't understand why you can't give them flowers and why you can't give Bryce his flowers for playing one of his best games of his career. That's all I'm saying. I just don't get it. You don't have to like Bryce, but give credit where credit's due, for Christ's sakes. So Canales commits, obviously. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Yeah, I think Dave Canales is starting to come around maybe with Bryce. I don't know. Maybe he thinks Bryce is the guy, but this team is now no qualifiers, no asterisks, no more of Dave Canales' cryptic, well, we'll see nonsense. He basically said after that week 12 where this game against Kansas City Chiefs, that he's going to go with Bryce Young, right? It's just crazy. So again, it's good. I mean, for this, I get it. You know, I get why he's going with this, right? Bryce Young went from bench to, progressing, right? Because at that point, his confidence was shot. His throws were erratic. He was playing like a Pop Warner quarterback. And he benched him, and everybody and their grandma had an opinion about it. The fans called a panic button. Some outright called it a mistake, but here we are. Like, the guy went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. Again, I think the benching might have been the best decision this team made in years, at least from a head coach standpoint. Right? From a coaching standpoint. But again, Bryce Young showed, plain and simple. Again, he played his career best game. He commanded the offense with poise. He hit the clutch throws. He was making plays when it mattered. He looked every bit like the kid who came out of Alabama a couple, And this wasn't just garbage time stat padding. This was Young taking one of the league's toughest defenses, again, led by Steve Spagnuolo, who is a mastermind at eating rookie quarterbacks for breakfast, winning most of the battles. Again, this is progress. Is Bryce Young back? Is Bama Bryce back? Now, I don't know. But he's not here to just tread water. He's definitely here to try to lead. I think Dave Canales obviously gets the memo because he's danced around the quarterback situation like a guy who knows he should pick a side but doesn't want to commit. But not anymore. I think after Sunday, Canales is done playing mind games. He doesn't need to spell it out because Young's performance speaks louder than words, anything a coach would say. Now, of course, Bryce is going to have to continue to be consistent. Okay? But the narrative needs to die a quick death, and Bryce Young needs to continue leading this team. Again, it's not just the coaching staff that's buying into Bryce Young. You see the teammates all in too. Post-game, you could see it in the way players talked about him. Hell, even Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid had nothing but glowing praise for the kid. When your franchise quarterback is earning respect of a two-time Super Bowl MVP, one of the best coaches in NFL history, you know you're on to something. I feel different. I'm not telling you guys that he's the franchise guy, that he's the guy of the future, but I'm just giving credit where credit's due. I think the future is finally bright. Like, let's not mince words. The Panthers season has been a disaster, but the way Bryce is playing, that's a light at the end of the tunnel for me. If he keeps this up for the next 6 games, Carolina won't have to waste another offseason. Right? Instead, they can focus on giving him the tools he needs to thrive. Oh, and the offensive line has been great. Maybe another wide receiver probably wouldn't help. You got the run game going, but other than that, you got tight end Jadavion Sanders of the future. Maybe another tight end wouldn't hurt. So we'll see. But again, Bryce Young's performance in Week 12 was a step in the right direction, and it was a damn good leap forward. For the first time all season, the Panthers, I feel like we have some real hope here. Like, sure, this team still has a laundry list of issues, but at least now they've got a quarterback who looks like he can be the solution and not part of the problem. And we'll see if that consistently goes forward. And if it consistently goes forward and continues to progress and continues to put, play games like he did against Sunday, then yeah, maybe I might start thinking of naming him the future of this franchise. And yeah, we lost. But again, if this is the Bryce Young we're getting from here on out, the future, ladies and gentlemen, looks a hell of a lot brighter. Because I can tell you, just like I said last night, I don't believe in any quarterback in this draft class. I can give you my rankings of where I think these guys are going to be and what round I think they're going to get drafted, and I can break them down for each and every one of those guys. But I do not believe in this 2025 draft class, and I'd rather hope on Bryce Young panning out than trying to draft another quarterback in 2025 and the guy getting another guy that just shits the bed. But what we're seeing now for a franchise that's been fumbling around in the dark for years, this is something that's worth at least celebrating a little bit. I hope it don't take that damn long, Rock. I mean, playing for Jesus, you can get. I don't see why that's necessary. I mean, you can give credit where credit's due, but I don't see why that's a big issue. Now, again, I don't expect you to name in the future. I don't expect you to name in the franchise quarterback. But giving credit where credit due is not that hard. It's not like you're saying that the kid's the future. And I don't see why you can't give credit where credit due. That's all I'm saying. I mean, yes, I agree with the consistency part, but it doesn't hurt to give credit where credit's due. Guys, make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. I greatly appreciate that as well. All right, 2020 draft needs. Where the Panthers must focus now. All right. Where the Panthers really need to focus, okay? Now, let's say Bryce Young ends up being the franchise guy, right? Let's just put it out there. Okay, let's say he becomes the guy. Right? Let's say that maybe his resurgence, let's say he had that resurgence, and now the Panthers can shift their focus where they need to in this next upcoming draft, for example. Let's say Bryce Young has officially done enough to keep the Carolina Panthers from wasting their first round pick on another quarterback. Let's just put that, what I guess, hypothetically. Okay. All right. This guy's, let's say he's playing like he belongs. Right. In the last four, and we can say, and you don't have to agree with me, but we're going to say it hypothetically in this situation. So let's just say we aren't sweating over the quarterback situation anymore. I think the Carolina Panthers, the number one thing that they have to do now in this draft class, okay, in this draft class is We got to get, I think the number one for me is getting a edge rusher. Jadeveon Clowney has been solid in flashes, but let's not kid ourselves, man. He's on the wrong side of 30. Not exactly scaring opposing coordinators. DJ Wanham has stepped up recently. He's not the guy to build your defensive game plan around. I think he's like, if you had a defensive end number one and a defensive end number two, DJ Wanham's your defensive end number two, right? You need to bring in a defensive end number one, right? You need to bring in that edge rusher, right? We need a game wrecker off the edge. Someone who can make quarterbacks wake up in cold sweats. Like, think like Myles Garrett or think like Nick Bosa. Someone like Abdul Carter or James Pierce Jr. or Jalen Walker should be on the top of the Carolina Panthers draft board. All right. Now, the rest of these are really in no particular order. Okay. I wouldn't be opposed to getting another quarterback. Okay. Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette have definitely shown flashes. But I mean, I still feel like our offense is still crying out for a legitimate wide receiver one. Now, if Carolina opts to go big in free agency, they could snag a veteran to pair with the young core. But if they decide to stick with the draft, there's names to watch. Like maybe they get Travis Hunter, or if that doesn't pan out, they go get McMillan out of Arizona, or they go and get Luther Burden, as you see up there. Like, still got to provide the kid, your quarterback with weapons. But again, you're still looking for that wide receiver one. Now, I'm not saying Xavier Legette and Jalen Coker can't develop into that, but it doesn't hurt to add more help, right? It doesn't hurt. Yeah, Flame for Jesus. South Carolina's D-line is absolutely fire. Top five it's top five. It's top five. We'll see how they do against Clemson. Interior defensive lineman, that's probably my number two biggest priority. You could flip-flop my 1 and 2 edge rusher or defensive line, either one. Derek Brown definitely needs a partner. Like, Derek Brown's a beast, no question, but if he can't do it by himself. I feel like Ashawn Robinson has stepped it up. Shai Tuttle has been a disappointment ever since he's gotten here. Deshaun Williams looked good yesterday as well. But again, this Panthers interior defensive line has been a revolving door, right? And teams like the Saints have been, teams like the Saints exploited that, right? You got to add someone like a Mason Grant or a Kenneth Grant, both boys out of Michigan, would instantly shore up that middle and would make life hell for opposing running backs, right? And if Carolina Panthers want to stop getting gashed up in the run game, this is the move. All right. I think another inside linebacker. Remember the glory days of Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis? Yeah, those days are long gone. But right now, the Panthers linebacker core is fine. And when I say fine, I mean mediocre as hell. Like Josie Jewell, Trevin Wallace are serviceable, but this defense needs a dominant presence in the middle again. Someone like a Deontay Lawson out of Alabama will bring the heat. Or they could trade down and grab another capable playmaker. But either way, it's time to bring some bite back to this defense. All right. I think Trevin Wallace is a guy who can develop, right? I think he's going to continue to develop and be great. And I think he's going to be great. I hope that he can develop and be great into that Luke Kuechly or Thomas Davis, size role. But we'll see. And last but not least for me, safety. We have a black hole in this secondary. Jordan Fuller has absolutely sucked. Again, Ejiro Evero bringing in one of his guys that hasn't panned out. If you look at the safety situation, it's a disaster. The current depth chart is uninspiring, and I'm putting it kindly. Like, a lot of these guys are hitting the free agency anyways. Like, Carolina needs to draft young, versatile safeties who can lock down the back end. You like a Malachi Starks or Nick Iman Wari would fit the bill perfectly. Those guys, if they don't address this, I expect more coverages, a whole lot touchdowns again. All right. So edge rusher, wide receiver, defensive line, linebacker, safety. These are the areas I think we need to fix. And if Carolina nails this draft, man, they could finally build a team, like I said, that doesn't make the fans want to pull their hair out every Sunday. But again, I like it. I need more money, honestly, Rock. I need more money. You have to have more than one bad cop, though, for sure. I'll be good cop. You be bad cop. Fame for Jesus. You and Jadarius. Yep. I mean, we do have a star in Damani Richardson that he refuses to play, but it wouldn't hurt to bring in another guy. Again, you could also probably switch out the safety position and say bring in a corner. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't looked too much. I got to start looking into the corners in this upcoming draft class. I've really looked more into the defensive line, the edge rushing room. I've kind of looked at some of the wide receivers. I've only looked like at 10 guys. I'm breaking down linebackers. I've got to look into a little bit more. Quarterbacks, I gave you all my top 10 quarterbacks in this draft class already. We might have to do a draft like breakdown. Like give you my top 10 guys in each like position group or something. I don't know. What's wrong with Coker, Panther gal? He had a quad injury that he suffered a week ago, and that put him out in this game against the Chiefs. So he should be back this week, though. It sounds like he should be back this week against the Bucks. So we'll see. I have to look at the injury report right now. I don't think we have too many besides. I think Jadavion Sanders will be one of the weapons that will be out, obviously. So we'll see. But I think from what reports I'm seeing out there, it seems like Jalen Coker should be back this week. But I think Jadavion Sanders will be out after that heavy hit he took against the Chiefs. The best thing to pay the monthly. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That doesn't help us out if you pay for the YouTube. All right, let's go break down the guys. Make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. All right. But also, guys, become a member today. Become a member today. Let's break down some game film. I got a couple clips I found on Twitter that I want to break down with you guys. Let's see here. I want to make this bigger. All right. Share my screen. Let's go with this real quick. So we're going to break down some game film real quick. Let me make sure that I have the right one up. Okay. Yeah, this is the first one I want to bring up. Okay. So this is a third down, early pressure down right here. Okay. This is the first big moment. This is the game's first third down. Now, what you're seeing here right now is the Chiefs have dialed up a blitz. This is a blitz package. All right. A defensive end into coverage. Okay. They have a defensive end into coverage. All right. And then they're sending the linebacker straight to Bryce Young when you watch this play. Okay. Now, running back, Chuba Hubbard's going to pick up the blitz. Young scans the field with a calm, like he's a seasoned vet back there. He fires a bullet to David Moore on a dig route. Watch David Moore on this dig route. Okay. He's right here. David Moore's right here on a dig route. Okay. All right. And he exploits a soft spot in this Kansas City zone coverage that they're gonna this zone blitz that they're running. Basically, this is a play that Young wouldn't have made months ago. I'll be honest with you. Back then, he probably would have panicked, bailed out the pocket, tried to force something off script. Again, in this play right here, he stayed in, he read the defense, and made the damn play. Now let's watch it translate. So watch it from the back end here. And there's that defensive end, Karloff. Is that Karloff? I think that's Karloftis right here. Look at Robert Hunt with Chris Jones, man. I also want y'all to look on this play too. Look at Robert Hunt, bro. Is it hard to see the screen? All right, hold on. All right, watch. Again, watch the dig route. Karloftis is here. All right, hold on. Let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. Is that better? Can y'all see that better or no? Y'all can see that better. Or here, how about I do this? But I'm gonna move myself now. I'm gonna move myself. Hold on. I gotta move myself real quick. Now we're gonna make this a one-person ordeal. I'm gonna put myself up here to the top left. There we go. I'm at the top left now. All right, again, so watch the dig route, but watch Robert Hunt and watch Chuba pick up the blitz. Watch Karloftis go out. This is a zone blitz running by the Chiefs again. Watch the dig route by David Moore. But pay attention to Robert Hunt on Chris Jones, by the way. And we'll watch it on the back end too. Watch Robert Hunt right here. Watch him right here. Cade Mays getting involved too. Great throw by Bryce. That's great touch to throw it over the Karloftis' head right here. Nice little dig route by Moore. Gets open, makes a play. All right, so another one. So another one I want to watch is I picked a couple out by this Jared. So this play, I was watching these earlier. This is the floater. The floater that wasn't basically okay. So at the first glance, right, this is the next play that looks like Young just tossed up a prayer. All right, but you look closer, it's actually a calculated 24-yard dart to tight end Jadavion Sanders. Now Carolina, they're running an empty set here, as you see, an empty set, which is forcing Young to work through his progressions. So as you watch this, just as the pocket begins to collapse, he keeps his eyes downfield, spots Sanders, okay, on a break. You see Sanders breaking free, okay? Now, what happens is the throw. Yeah, it's not a laser, it's a floater. That's what it's called. It's a floater. But it's a well-placed floater, okay? And it's one that lands right where Sanders can snag it for a big gain, right? It's just another example of something we hadn't seen earlier this season, right? And that's trust, okay? Young trusted Sanders to make a play right here, and Sanders delivered, okay? So here it comes. Watch this. There's Sanders right here. Comes back. Throws it over the top. I mean, my God. And the guy's all over him. I'm pretty sure we got a PI on this play too. So, huge gain. Look at that. Scrambles outside. Throws it over the top. Boom. And that's a great floater, man. Let's watch it one more time. Boom. Beautiful. All right, let's go to the next play. Now, this one is a little bit different. Now, this play, I was watching it earlier. This is anticipation on display for me. Young's trust wasn't just limited to his receivers, okay? He extended it to his you got to extend it to an offensive line. So one play against a cover 3 defense. This is a cover 3. Basically, Young lets it rip to Moore on a post corner route. Moore's right here inside, okay? Post corner route before Moore even breaks out of his route. The result is a 17-yard gain. All made possible by Young's improved footwork, pocket presence, okay? Sure, his footwork still isn't perfect. It's never going to be Tom Brady level of clean footwork, but he's climbing the pocket and delivering with intent. So watch this. David Moore's up here. Quick come off. And that's great for Thielen disguising that. Watch how Thielen disguises this. It forces both of these guys to go with Thielen, leaves David Moore open. It's a great disguise play here. Boom, David Moore sees it, opens that. There you go. Simple, easy. Simple and easy. Make it simple for the kid. All right. Oops. Let's go back. We did this one. We did that one. Yep, we did this one. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to break this to play down. All right. So, beating the blitzes like a pro. Okay. Here is the piece de resistance. 3rd and 10, late in the 4th quarter. They dial up a cover 0 blitz here. I think this is the cover 0 one. Let me see. Yeah, this is a cover 0 one. That's what I figured. All right. So this is the cover 0 blitz. All right. So everyone's coming after Bryce Young here, which leaves this secondary in man coverage. All right. Young doesn't flinch. He drops back. He anticipates the pressure, and he fires an absolute rocket to David Moore here. All right. Who hasn't even turned his head yet in this play. The ball is on money. Young is absolutely lighting up the Chiefs defenders as he releases him. So without this play, the Panthers don't even have a chance to tie this game. It's easily the best throw, probably of Bryce Young's career. And it came at a perfect time. So watch this. Boom. It's a great ball, man. Watch him throw. Blitzing. Takes the... Look at that. Look at it. Now, okay, we saw the throw. Now watch Bryce take this hit back in the backfield. 2 guys hammering him. And makes the throw. I mean, he just sits there and takes that hit. I mean, you got to give, that's the credit that I'm talking about, man. He stays in the pocket here, throws the ball before David Moore even looks to see where the ball's at. Bryce gets it out of there perfectly on pinpoint and still takes the hit as he's making this throw. That's what you call anticipation at best, and you beat the blitz. And that is beating a blitz right there. But this guy is so small, though, but he's taking 2 hits by defenders like that. Proves to me that Bryce Young is tough. Is pretty damn tough. Watch. Boom. 2 defenders. Footwork's gotten a lot better too. Yeah. But just gets hammered at the end there. Like he makes this a perfect throw, but gets absolutely trampled. And again, this is a clutch moment by him because again, if you don't make that throw, you don't have a chance to tie the game. Like I said. I mean, that's just again, that's one of the best throws of his career, if not the best. I really like that Jadeveon Sanders throw. All right, let me get out of this one. Let's go up to the last one. So here's a different angle from this play, by the way. This is the same play. But watch the different angle here. This is beating the blitz. And just fucking it's just I mean, again, there's only a couple guys in the NFL that can make throws like that. And we were playing him on this past Sunday. So good. And just taking that hit, man, that's just getting fucking trampled at the end. So I had to break that down, man. Like, again, watching those clips, again, man, like, you got to give credit where credit's due. You got to give credit where credit's due at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? You got to give credit where credit's due. Sorry. Like I said, let's be real. Young wasn't flawless in this game. He missed some throws, left some plays on the field, and occasionally looked like a rookie. But here's the thing. Even the NFL's best quarterbacks screw up. What matters is that Bryce Young's showing tangible progress. And Sunday's performance proved capable of taking the next step. Like, Young went 11 for 14, 123 yards and a touchdown against the blitz. Listen to this stat again. Young went 11 for 14 with 123 yards and a touchdown against the blitz. That's against blitz packages that the Chiefs ran. That to me speaks volumes about his growth. He's no longer the deer in the headlights rookie from week one. He's learning, he's adapting, and making big time throw. But for me, this past Sunday's game showed that Young can do with average weapons around him. Imagine what he could accomplish with a true wide receiver one. And plus Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette still progressing. This offensive line is still top 5, top 10. And this Jadeveon Sanders developing into a top tier tight end. But see, that's the challenge for Dan Morgan and head coach Dave Canales, surrounding Bryce Young with the talent, and Dave Canales continue to developing him the way that he needs to thrive. For now, Young has earned his spot as the Carolina starter for the rest of the season, is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. There's no more talking about him being benched or questioning his potential. He has shown he can hang with the big boys, and that's more than enough for a reason to be a little optimistic. Is he the future? We shall see. I need some more consistency from him, but it's a damn good start in the right direction, right? It's progress. It's finding that identity. It's finding the culture here, right? That's what we're looking for, man. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, thumbs up, man. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure, again, you hit that like button. All right. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Okay. I think just peace gives me balloons. Yep. There it is. Welcome to the party, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the party. I'm trying to remember if this means thunderstorm. Something means thunderstorm. Maybe thumbs down. Thumbs down. Okay, there you go. 2 thumbs down. All right, I'm delusional right now. Again, yeah, make sure you hit that like button. All right, watch, here comes the thumb. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. And of course, become a member today. It also helps out the channel a lot. Also, don't forget about super chats. You can also Venmo me or Cash at me. That's also helps support the channel. But really, all I want is your likes and subscribes, man. That's all for free. If you want to take it a step further, that's up for you to decide. So, for everyone, I will see you tomorrow night at the NFC South Roundtable. Don't forget to go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to BetUS, by the way, our sponsorship of this live stream. Sign up for free today. Get 150% bonus on your first 3 bets up to $2,000. But remember to bet responsibly. Sign up for free with BetUS today. Use the link in my link tree in my bio of my YouTube channel or of my Instagram or of my Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, or TikTok. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Go to my link tree into my the homepage of my channel. All right, that'll give you all that good stuff. But guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. EST, to the NFC South Roundtable. You don't want to miss it.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST, the AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST, the NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports, real coverage from real fans.
So you guys, appreciate all you guys. Appreciate all the love and support. Again, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, click that post notifications bell, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. As always, keep pounding.